Hello everybody, welcome to episode 40 of Minecraft with us here. So what we are doing today's episode is, you can see everything's looking pretty good, because we got a bit of shaders going on here, and everything's loading in behind me there. So yeah, what we are doing today is we're going to be doing a tour of the world, because it is a 40th episode, and every 20 episodes I want to go ahead and do a little bit of a tour, a little bit of a catch-up, and have a look at some things that we've done over the past 20 episodes, kind of get our whereabouts in the series, and not only that, also talk to you about what we are going to be doing in the future, which is also kind of a good planning session for what is going on. So that is the plan for today's episode, and we are doing it in shaders. We're doing it with Sildur's Vibrant shaders for most of it. We may have to switch over to another shader pack, or perhaps just go to vanilla for a little bit if we go into the Nether or dark area, because Sildur's does get, or Sildur's, I don't know if I'm saying it right, it does get a little bit dark at times. So currently it's almost midday. It looks like everything's looking pretty damn good around me, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, excuse me if I do get some things done before, something's confused with what was before the 20th episode, but I'm fairly certain we've almost got, well, in my head I've got more or less what's going on there, so I probably should have checked. But overall, it's kind of, for me, just a gameplay through the game, so I don't really look at everything as episodes myself. So let's get started with a few things. Well, last episode I left you, and I'm pretty sure I said we are getting pretty close to 2,000 subscribers, and I mean, that was a day ago, and I can tell you now, I'm fairly certain we have hit 2,000 subscribers, because I am very, very close right now. Very, very close. We are moving very fast, actually, which is pretty crazy, because overall, our channel's grown in, I think now 6, 7, maybe 8 months into it, and we've grown quite a bit. I'm really, really thankful, guys. So thank you to all of you for being here. It means a lot when people watch your videos and enjoy your videos and subscribe. It's really awesome. So thank you so much, guys. That's pretty much I mean, I can't say anything more. It's pretty damn cool. So, as I say, we've explained the tour. Thank you very much for the 2,000, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to get started with what is going on. And I might be counting my chickens a bit too early, but I guarantee you, we're going to make it there. We're very close at the time I'm recording this. So let's walk through. Let's walk into our little kind of village. I'm sort of thinking of this as a city that's being built. So we're going to be adding, well, I mean, it is a city that's being built. I'm really insightful, but what we are going to be doing is we're going to be building this into a bigger city, and I want to sort of do things with the idea of eventually upgrading them. So these paths, you can see, they're not really 100% built up paths, you know, like what you'd find in a well-built city. So it's a matter of time before they get improved. This area here is looking very clean. It's not finished, obviously. So this is going to be the shopping district of that city, and it's really it's gonna, I don't know, I want everything to tie in with one particular theme, but still be different. So I've got a few ideas for shops. I got a few different ways I'm going to be building a few of the buildings, and maybe not everything is going to be a set building, but yeah, that's to come. If you have got any ideas for shops that you would like to see here, for instance, let me tell you some ideas that I've got. So I've obviously got a beef production facility down there. I'm thinking of maybe storing a few items in areas where we'd go, for instance, shopping, where we'd have maybe a villager, or if eventually a zombie villager, if things get a bit unlucky. But yeah, we'd have someone staffing that shop, and we'd go in, not buy our stuff, just take it and make it a little bit more realistic. I think that'll be kind of cool. But still have our storage house. Still have our storage house around there. But yeah, that's kind of the idea for that. So as I say, a butcher, we're going to have hundreds of different things there. So that's the idea of that. Well, hopefully in my head I've got a few things, but you know what happens? Space kind of might limit us, or something like that. But let's get started on what we would have had at the beginning of 20 episodes. So I'm fairly certain we didn't have anything in there. Maybe we had that house, but I don't think we did. We definitely had this house, our first starter house. So we'll walk in here quickly, have a look at it, and look at that. That is pretty much the way we left it. I was actually quite happy with this house. We started off, I had a really good idea of what I was going to do, and I kind of put a lot more time into it to getting it done in the first. I think I got it done in the second or third episode. Third episode, I think I finished the outside. Fourth episode, we finished the inside. And I'm really glad I got that out the way, looking good from the beginning. I know not everyone might be a fan of this sort of thing, but I like it quite a bit. So I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. And yeah, I'm glad it's in the front as we walk into our base from the front entrance. So, by the way, the sun's about to go down, but by the way, so you guys know, there will be a world download in the description below. So check that out. Check it out if you want to get onto this world. I know I've been asked quite a bit of times for the world download. I've also been asked for the seed quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure that's in the videos now, so I've actually got to check that just in case it isn't there. But yeah, let's walk on. So that was actually not, I said first house, but that's our first real house. This was our first house. We built this on the first episode. We still I actually use this bed more often than any other bed, to be honest. So that's our current actual main house, weirdly enough. Because when I'm working around the base, I'm in this area most of the time now. So I just go run in, quickly sleep. We're probably going to sleep in that now when the sun goes down. But yeah, that's currently what that's looking like. And then we also went and built our library over here, which I'm very happy with the way it turned out. We had a little bit of an accident with it last episode, so that's corrected. We've got our roof back on there, for those of you that don't see what's going on. And we've also got a spider farm down at the bottom there, which, for those of you who might not know that. So that is also something that we've kind of worked on, along with that bridge. I'm pretty happy with the way that bridge turned out. And let me quickly tell you, this bridge over here and that bridge are should be identical in terms of the build. And they were perfectly the same distance across, which made my life very, very easy. And here, by the way, maybe I can put a torch, glowstone block or something behind it to light this up a little bit. But this is a map of the area around our base. So we are currently standing over there. There we are. I was looking for that green thing, but it's not very, very clear on here right now because of the shaders, I'd assume. But that's currently what we're looking at. And the reason I wanted to do this was because when you guys download the world, you might not know where we are in relation to a few things that you may have seen. So the mesa and stuff over there, there's a path, you can see what's going on. You can see sort of what we've been doing. And that's just something I thought which might help you guys. So it's turning nighttime, and look at those lights. I think these lights are starting to look good with shaders. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way they've turned out with shaders. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to sleep, and I will be right back. Actually, back before I slept, and I actually want to just show you just what the whole base looks like with the lights on, with the lights on, no sunlight and stuff like that. I just want to have a look. I actually haven't had a look myself, so yeah, that looks pretty damn cool. I think that's looking quite awesome. And here's this tree looking fantastic as well. We can also maybe have a look here, because I've never walked around here with shaders to check this stuff out yet. So, well, I mean, recently. Yeah, that looks awesome. That's really, really cool. So, yeah, I'm going to be back. I'm just going to walk through into that way. By the way, I'm not too sure how long this episode's going to be. I mean, it's a bit of a special episode, so whatever happens, happens. So I'm going to keep going on, go through as much stuff as we can, and then I guess I'll sleep now. I'll be back. Alright guys, so it is morning again, we are back, and I'm gonna quickly just go do something before we are all the way on the other side or something and we forget about it. So I'll quickly, this will take a bit of explanation and kind of a little bit of a backstory to this. So basically, what happened is, I'm very sorry I actually haven't got to this sooner. I didn't actually realize this until the other day. So basically, we'll just walk around while we talk about this. So what I have done when I first created our world here was, not our world, our YouTube account, our Twitter account, and all of our accounts we needed. I thought I would just get the names for as many of the accounts that I think we might need as possible. And one of them was a Patreon account. So for those of you that don't know what Patreon is, it's basically a way you can pledge money every month or per whatever it does to whoever has a page. So that's basically the way it works. And what I did was, when I first created it, I just created all the names. I didn't really know what I was doing. I sort of made out like a basic list of things, and I put the link on our page. I didn't really expect much of it. I kind of just did it for the sake of having the name and kind of ideas that I thought were good at the time. And I mean they're not bad ideas, but I just kind of did it with half of the kind of half of the ideas together without knowing completely. But I mean, they're still good. And what I saw the other day was I saw an email, which I don't always check my emails that are in my like junk folder. I don't even know why it came to my junk folder. It's very weird that it did. But what I did was I had a look at my emails and I saw that you have a new patron. And something that's kind of weird, let me just explain this part of it, is I took my patron link off the YouTube page, or maybe it's on some descriptions, but I saw I've got a new patron and I want to just welcome our very first patron ever. So basically, I'll quickly put the name down here. So can we place that down on there? We can't. Oh, we can. So I just want to quickly put this down here. So thank you very much to our very first patron, Scott Williams. So there's Scott, and I'll put this on the next line because it probably won't go all the way across. And there we go. Welcome, Scott. Oh man, you know what? I might actually just leave that on the top there. See how it looks. If not, we might bring it down one. So Scott is our very first patron on our server, on our on our world here. So I'm pretty sure I've spelled it right. If I haven't, I'll have a look. I'll double check and I'll fix it before the world gets downloaded. But yeah, welcome to Scott. And I've decided to give Scott the big house at the top that we've built as our very first Patreon. And I thought that would be something nice. So that's basically what's happened. So Scott went out and pledged for us on Patreon and got up to our server level. So what I'll quickly do is I'll just quickly explain. I'm going to be putting Patreon back on here, seeing as, I mean, we're up to 2,000 subscribers, and anyone who does want to join it, I'll explain to you what's going on with it now. And yeah, we're up to 2,000 subscribers, so I thought, you know, we might as well fix it up. So while I'm actually going to be editing this video and letting it render, I'm going to be sorting out that Patreon page and getting everything up to scratch, just with a few tweaks and changes. Whatever was on there, Scott will definitely be getting, and in fact, nothing's going to be changing for that level anyway. So that's what's happening there. So thank you very much, Scott, and welcome. We're also going to be building a bit of a thing dedicated to patrons in the near future as well, by the way, guys. So let's have a walk into the Nether now, and I will explain what's kind of going on there. So with our Patreon page, we decided, well, I mean, it decided pretty early that I wanted to get ourselves a bit of a server going on for subscribers or patrons eventually. Oh, this is laggy as hell. There we go. I'll just quickly switch out of this. So I'm going to take us off of the shaders here. I'll just go off over there. I've got a few other shaded packs which are better in the dark, but I think for this we're just going to have a look at this. So I just want to show you the idea for the cloud that we've got there. And yeah, that's for our Nether hub. I'll explain that a bit more. But I'll just walk around here and I'll explain to you what's going on with our Patreon page. So for us, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be having our Patreon page. We're going to be moving a few things a bit earlier on our page, which is something I think will be really, really good. And I think it'll be quite important. So I'm really excited when I get people commenting or liking our videos, and just in general, you guys subscribing. It's really awesome. And I think what will be really great is the very first things that we want to do on Patreon is put that money towards getting ourselves a server. So for everyone who donates, I think the amount will be $10. We'll definitely get a spot on the server when it is open. So we're going to be getting that hopefully as soon as possible. And that will be something that I'm really looking forward to. So that's what's going to be happening. So if anyone is interested, definitely check that out. I will leave a link down in the description, and it will be getting a little icon on our YouTube page again. So don't feel obliged. That's just something that I thought would be quite nice to have. Eventually, it'll be kind of cool just to have a server where you guys can all play together, and with me, I will also be on there, and I think that'll be something awesome. It's something that I want as well, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would love that. So what I want to say is thank you guys. Thank you so much. So now getting back on with a bit of the tour, and I did digress to Patreon, but I think it was very important. So getting back onto the tour, I want to quickly take you through the Nether hub, because a lot of you who might be playing will need a bit of an explanation. So what's happened is we've got this nice little tree hub thing here, which I'm going to change. I'm thinking we're going to change half of this to a tree type thing like this, and the other half to a building. But that's something I'm going to have to tweak a little bit, and we should get it going. Now, as for this direction here, so we can kind of get our whereabouts to that cloud, maybe that might be useful. In that direction there, we have got, I'm fairly certain, the Diegast. There we go. That was our very first place we went to in the Nether, and that was our ice spikes biome, if I am remembering correctly. You know what, I'm probably getting this wrong. Yeah, our ice spikes biome is in that direction, and also our mega taiga biome is in that direction there. We've also gone out in this direction here, which is our jungle biome, and in fact, someone in the comments said, well, by the way, this goes straight forward there, said, oh, how convenient, I found a jungle temple. I must have just looked it up. In fact, I'm very lucky. I would have done that if we didn't find one immediately, but what happened was, if you follow this directly straight and make your portal right where I've made it, so right in line with this, you come out in front of a jungle temple, which is very, very lucky. So in fact, that was something very lucky. That direction there is spawn, and that's pretty much it for the Nether hub. So that's pretty much what's going on. So the next things we want to do in this series overall is kind of fix up the Nether hub, fix up a few other things around the base. Oh, there goes quiet again. And that's sort of the idea we want to do. So I think what we'll do now is maybe talk about some of the things that we want to achieve in the next little bit. So in the next sort of 20 episodes, so when we hit episode 60, by the way, I just bumped my mic. Sorry if that made a bunch of noise in you guys' ears. And I bumped it again. That's very great. So some of the things that I want to do, which is some ideas actually from you guys, is to put a windmill in this area here. I want to have our base looking out onto stuff. So we'll probably have it in a big area there or an area over there, which will be a part of this farm. But what I want to do with the windmill is I wanted to go into quite a bit of detail. So it might be better to put further back, because else it might just look so stupidly big in front of everything. So the windmill might be out there, it might be over there, but I've got a few ideas that I want to try out, and I think that will look pretty damn good. So I'm looking forward to building that one. Another few ideas that I've got is maybe, for instance, a bit of a tour to a specific biome where I've got some really, really cool ideas. And this is the secret one that I was talking about a bit earlier. Well, a few episodes ago, probably 20 episodes ago, actually. And we haven't got to that biome yet, but any guesses are welcome. But I've got a pretty cool idea, which I'm really looking forward to. Now, a few other things that we want to achieve in this next little bit is we also want to fight the Wither. So that's why we've got our brand new sword here, this shiny new sword with smite on it. We also maybe want to add a bit of flame onto that one, so that's just something. But we also are going to be getting our shopping district finished right over there. That is going to be something we're going to maybe not finish, but add onto and get a few other things going. We also want to add a bit of a tower over here. So this is going to be a tower over here that overlooks a lot of this area around there. You'll be able to see the desert from there. You'll be able to see a swamp, I'm fairly certain, in that direction. And I think it'll look really, really great. I'm not too sure why there's a creeper hole there. I don't remember doing that. It would have been quite some time ago. But yeah, that's the idea of what we want to do. So with those in mind, we also are going to be doing another super awesome thing very, very soon, dedicated to patrons. And I've got some idea of this. I'm going to be testing it out in a creative world because I want to build it and have it look really, really good. And yeah, work really well for patrons. So if you guys are interested in that, I really would recommend checking it out, maybe seeing what you guys want to see. I mean, it's, as I say, there's no obligation to it. I think it'll be really cool because a lot of people have been asking about Patreon, and that's kind of what, or not Patreon, sorry, the server, and that's the way we're going to be starting our server. So first things first, I want to give back to you guys. So thank you to say thank you very much. So for that, definitely check that out, and we'll be getting our server hopefully as soon as possible. So thank you very much for that, guys. What I'm going to do now is I pretty much have shown you the majority of the area, and I've also gone ahead and all the farms. So for instance, we've got a spider farm down there. We've also got our other cow farm down at the bottom there. For all of them, I think I've pretty much done a job of marking out what you guys are going to need to do if you want to use them. So I've put some signs around, and I'm sure it shouldn't get too complicated. You can't really break those too badly. What I want to go and do is check out a place that I haven't been to in a few episodes, which is something we did complete a few episodes ago. Yeah, it gets really dark now, and it should light up a little bit more. I've kind of learnt that with shaders. They're very good at making things look realistic. So there we go. Which is this barn, and I'm fairly happy with this barn. There's a few sort of niggly areas which aren't really completed 100%, but I think it almost is a part of it, so I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. Now, as for you guys playing around on our world, and I thought that was meant to keep those horses in, but it appears that horses snuck out. Or maybe that's actually just a horse that's sneaking in. But yeah, as for you guys that do download this world, if you guys do anything crazy or anything that you think looks really good or interesting, fun, maybe find something interesting, let me know. Maybe take a screenshot and tweet it to me or send it to me any way you think is possible. Let me know about it. Okay, so I just slept off that night and I thought let's go take a look at some of the things more recently that we've done in and outside the base. So this is probably the most recent, and this building I kind of did with the idea of just adding a bit more to this area, because what I really want to do is add a lot more space and buildings, well, fill up a lot more space, add a lot more buildings, and I thought this one was a good idea. It was something a little bit different because I've been doing a lot of square type builds like that, and just keeping these things a little bit more different from each other, and I think it looks, I mean, it looks a lot better with shaders, but let's take a look inside. So this over here was an attempt at a bit of interior decorating by myself, but I must admit I'm terrible at it. It's a work in progress. We'll learn. We're getting better at building, getting better at hopefully this stuff, and just yeah, gotta keep trying. We'll learn more tricks as we go. Now one thing I've actually got to fix up was that there's a torch under there which can't really put there when I fixed up that building. But yeah, this one over here, we tried to make two houses. So we've got here, which is now Scott's dedicated house in this world. And we've got the nice big penthouse. This was also an attempt at decorating. I'm not too sure how well I did. But yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess. But most importantly, which was a bit of fun, was under here. Going down in here and having a look around in the new bar. This was a bit of fun just to give a go. I think I still want to do a bit more stuff. Maybe put something in there. Maybe make that an actual pot, not a glass. Maybe, I don't know, check out a few different ideas. See what's going on there. I've got a few things I still want to add in here. So this is still a little bit of a work in progress. The floor's also looking really bland, so we can try out a few more things there. But yeah, let's take a walk through here, and this could actually look quite interesting. So let's put that on and have a little walk through. You can hear the water running through. Now you can't. So if you can't see anything, I apologize, but kind of this is the effect I was hoping for, where everything looks dark and gloomy and you can see light peering through all different spaces, and yeah, the vines coming down. It's a very spooky corridor, and we spoke about it. Oh, there's a torch you can see. We spoke about it when we did it. I'm really glad it came out quite spooky looking. And I eventually hope to get majority of the base connected up to this underground thing. It's a bit of fun to do. And yeah, of course, here we've got our basement to our first main house over here. So that's a little bit of a tour of the underground stuff as we have it so far. I also want to do a bit of item transportation in a level below that, where it's kind of like a sewer, and we can transport the items around like that. But that's something to come in the future. The next thing we want to do, which is something I didn't do when I was down by the farm, is I want to quickly give you a tour of the house, because we went into the barn, they didn't go into the house, so I may as well go have a look at that. And you know what, in fact, on our way we'll make a quick pit stop just down at the mines, because I want to show you guys what's going on there. Because I mean, a lot of you might have joined more recently and just need to get your whereabouts of what's going on in this world. So let's go down here. This is our mine. And I've built it in this mountain, and the reason I built it in the mountain was really because I think it'll look cool in a mountain, and also because it's got emeralds in it, because this is an extreme hills. So they got emeralds, we wanted emeralds, and we're getting emeralds. So here we go. I've decided to make this a little bit good looking going down into the mine. So this looks a little bit alright. You know what? This granite doesn't actually look too bad with shaders. Man, I'm not going to convert to granite usage, don't worry, but it really doesn't look that bad. Down here, I've tried to keep it a bit more dug out. I've kind of, as I go, I just take out chunks to make it look a bit more like it was built as a mine. I want to eventually, maybe one day, we can put some supports and stuff in here, but overall, it's still just a normal branch mine. And in fact, the reason why we've got some of these which are extra wide, like 2 wide here, and I think I've even got a 3 wide one, is because all we're doing is we were collecting stone. That's all we wanted. We run out of stone so quick on this world. It's crazy. By the way, if you guys do come into here, beware of mobs. There's a few empty spots where I have got a creeper once. But yeah, of course, if you're quick enough, you'll be alright. You won't get exploded. So let's go over to this place here, and the idea with this farm is really to make our farms, of course, and also I want this whole base to look a lot nicer. Well, I want the lookout of that base there to have something good to look at, and I think a farm would be really awesome to look at. Eventually, we want to add in some more crops and a lot more wheat, so it looks like a giant wheat field around here. So this was another attempt at interior decorating. I've decided to go maybe for a basin. I'm not too sure what that's meant to be. We've got our cupboards. And by the way, we can't actually put anything in here because we've got the door sits in here. We can't put the door out here facing on nothing. And we also can't fit a chest in because the door occupies that block. So this one, I thought I had some stuff in there at one stage. But yeah, this is kind of the little attempt at decorating. We've got a clock on the wall, very important. And we've got a little bit of a room. Now, this is really meant to be the farmer's house. So there's nothing too crazy in there. Maybe one day we can do a bit of a basement to that, but for now, that's it. Now let's have a look at something else, which I was pretty happy I enjoyed making, was this well, which didn't turn out as well as I wanted the well to turn out, if I say well one more time. But yeah, the whole problem was that we needed this piston to come up, and I miscalculated the blocks. So really, if this was one block down, that would be great. But because I miscounted the blocks and we were one out, I've kind of just left it. Maybe one day we'll change it, but yeah, you'll see what I mean with this piston elevator. Oh, that water looked awesome. And the well is actually a secret entrance, and you can see there's a bit of a creeper explosion here. Let's actually just double check this area. Yeah, we're safe. We're safe. So down here, the plan is we're going to have a bunch of these faces where we're going to have different farms. So we've got a cow farm already in there. We've put a mushroom farm there. We're not going to be, I mean, we don't have the mushroom just yet, so we're not going to be doing that. So I'm just trying to get that area set for that. And this will be one of those things. Why did it just get dark? This will be one of those things that we will have to get a haste beacon for, so we can clear out this area here, because we're going to need a lot of space cleared. And you can see I've got to still fix up these blocks. So let's go in here. We've got ourselves our little cow farm, which I've done. And I mean, this isn't a really amazing cow farm, but it's better than nothing. So we cook our cows, get our food. That's where we got all the steak from. And I think it works all right. So if you guys do check this out, make sure you get your water to push your stuff through. You can see it's a work in progress. We're learning as we go. So there we go. We'll cook that stuff up and get rid of get a bit more food. So there we go. Come on, die cows. There we go. We'll grab whatever's left there. Leave those 2 cows to be for now. Now the next plan with this is we're going to extend out, obviously. And not only that, I'm actually thinking maybe we'll have a sheep farm running underneath here with a bunch of glass so we can see down into it. I think that'll be really, really cool for all the wool. And also over here, I was planning on having a big crop farm where we maybe have a villager or something like that. But there'll be quite a bit of mob proofing to stop zombies. But yeah, we could maybe have a villager collecting things. That could be interesting, but that's a farm for the future. Now this is a design I'm actually really, I kind of tried out, which I'm glad I did. It's a bit of fun. It's a piston elevator with using the 1.9 piston translocation bug, which I'm sure will one day get fixed, and then it'll break everything in this world. You can see we've just had a little bit of a problem here, where sometimes this thing doesn't quite work as planned, and it normally does this right near the top. Okay, well this time it does it miles from the top. If this happens, let me just do this. Put that on my offhand. We've got no problem. Why is that? Ah. There we go. And we'll get out over here. That should be land. Yep. No creepers. Cool. Oh, we actually have to do that, and then that. Perfect. So, yeah, if that happens, just break the stone. But yeah, that's pretty much this part of the base. That part of the base there, I'll actually just show you guys one more piece, and then we'll probably be going just so that, oh, we're getting destroyed. You won't get me. Yeah. But oh, by the way, we're walking over this bridge. We've walked over it like 100 times. This was done early on, and I'm actually really, really happy with the way this bridge turned out. So let's take a little bit of a look here. Yeah, I like that. I like the way it's turned out. I spent a lot of time on getting it right, but I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. By the way, this is also our smeltery. It's got a little bit of an auto smelter down the bottom. Nothing crazy, just so we can chuck in a few more things and let it do its thing. It was just a bit of redstone fun. We've also got a little space up here where we've got some armor stands. We'll do something else with that one day, I'm sure. But for now, nothing really is happening there. And I've also chucked in a glowstone block in between the last two clips. By the way, that's our nether portal, if you were wondering. It is, I think it looked pretty good as well. So there's a lot of things here that really have taken a lot of time, and I'm glad we spent the time on it. So this is our library, and I don't like the flat roof, but we'll do that one day. It's just kind of got a few wings. It's got a little bit of a thought behind this. So each wing has got different glass on it, and represents different mobs. So for instance, those would be cave spiders. That would be, I think, creepers, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong there. In fact, I thought I had creepers at the front here. Oh yeah, those are creepers over there. That one would actually be slimes. Sorry. So those will be like some of the overworld mobs. We've also got another one there with overworld mobs. And over here, we've got our nether mobs. So we've got, I can't make out if that's the pink and yellow, I think it is. So pigmen, wither skeletons, ghasts, and lasers. So magma cubes, they didn't get a shot. But yeah, this is pretty much it. We've got our little auto enchanting tab with a little bit of redstone stuff just for the hell of it. So really open, walk up, really good. And the little secret entrance down to our spider farm down there. And that one I'll leave for you to explore yourself. There's nothing too crazy going on there. We got to make that entrance look a little bit nicer sometime. But yeah, that's pretty much the world. And it looks like we might have a friend here. Hey, buddy. My torch back. Yeah, so that's pretty much the world. So I'm gonna go right over here. Actually, let's quickly sleep this out, and we'll finish off there because let's go do this. Now, actually, quick before we go, I want to speak to you guys about what's going to be happening. So in the next episode, we'll be moving over to a 1.10 snapshot, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will have different thoughts about that. But I'm really excited to give it a little bit of a try. Maybe if everything messes up, of course, we're going to have our backup. But yeah, I think it'll be a bit of fun to change over to 1.10, and that's the plan for now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to leave my items here because this is exactly where I'm going to log out. Right after this, I'm going to go save the world and upload it so that you guys can play along with it. So this is where everything's going to be left. I've still got my torches. You can have those too. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I know it was a bit all over the shop, but I mean, hey, sometimes it's a bit of stuff just to look around, and it's nice. It's nice, I think. I enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the world download. And if you got any ideas or anything, or just shout out in the comments or whatever, just pop down in the comments. But thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.